All right, now, we're in discussion concern possible action. We have drawdown request for phase one of the Big Hearts Water Project in the amount of $20,139.61. And the Francis Creek Project in the amount of $3,605.45.
Are those two separate?
They are.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say.
They are.
We have we need a motion to
Yeah,
sign.
I was gonna say, just a motion is, small city, request number 11, again, for the $20,139.61.
I move.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That is unanimous. Thank you.
Zach has been.
No, I'm sorry. That's the other one.
Where are we at on Francis Creek?
Francis Creek, I believe we're trying to do the bid this month.
We should advertise in February.
What's your estimated completion date on that?
Well, we haven't really determined that yet. Once we bid it and open it, it will probably take 60 days or so for it to start digging, and then they have 9 months to finish it, so.
But if when we go further about the Lower Mud River project, that's not gonna hold us up to that?
No, it shouldn't be a factor.
Okay.
Is there any other, just me?
Just offhand, if by chance the small cities grant is still open, they can do a request, a waiver request when you do submit.
Oh, I'm
in that
sorry.
small city. So
What you did last
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's we inform them of the progress of the current projects, let them know when they're gonna finish, and that will help them decide they can fund the next projects.
And you got, whoever's doing this, when it comes time that we need to garner these people's signatures and things like that, we need to know so we can organize that for them. Because I think really what we need to look at is maybe in this request, some or all commission taking that to the government and talking to them about it. And I think that'll help us with that a little bit.
Yeah, we need to do that as soon as possible, because, the application has to go in by May, am I right?
Correct.
So we need to go ahead and get all the signatures that we can, and, start writing letters of support, draft
Do it now,
support.
Nate.
Yeah. Again, Dr. Vance.
I have the drawdown for the Francis Creek project. It is a small cities block grant, drawdown number 7. It's paid $3,605.46 for Region 2 admin invoices.
All right.
I'll move to.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That is unanimous. Motion
Mary, we want on this, in the records, have that we approve the resolution, approve the drawdown request to give the president permission to sign.
Okay.
That's-
I think I normally add that into the.
Okay.
the order.
That way you just got all the i's dotted or t's crossed.
And Zach and Michael even with the final product, right? The final product.
You doing all right? Doing all right? You good? Glad to have you here.
I'll be the one that will be working on the application, fill over that, so any information you want to pass on today or anything.
When you feel it's, the time's right, then that's when we'll get to move on that.
Sure. Like we were saying earlier the better. If you want to send any letters now, send any meetings, anything. As far as things including the application on my help, it's any petitions by citizens. I know the one lady's already left, we have pictures of what the water situation looks like, and just household items like that. Anything that can make the project seem more desirable for them and fun.
Thank
Will
you.
help.
Thank you so much. All right, next we have the Yawkey cell phone tower. We are, I think our #1 director and attorney are working on an easement for this Yawkey cell phone tower. I would like to move to give Commissioner Harless the authority to negotiate with the attorneys and be involved in that process.
I'll second that.
Easement. And motion and a second, any further discussion?
I'm gonna vote for this.
Okay. Any, all right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. With that being unanimous, motion carries. thank you. All right, next we have Jim Gavehart regarding the Lincoln PSD. Doc, would you like to address that?
We received, just before coming to the meeting, we received an update from Mr. Gabehart, the prosecutor. And as far as the way I read it, and I guess the other commissioners read it, there really isn't any decision been made right now. He's still reviewing whatever it is he needs to review to give us that decision. So, but we just wanted to let the public know that we did receive correspondence from Mr. Gabehart, and that correspondence at this time is not complete as far as any direction that he wants us to come on this commission.
All right, next we have on the agenda is the PSC Opinion Request and Order. Dr. Vance and Phoebe, you'll see this is the opinion of the Public Service Commission. There was also a request from Ron Floor to expedite the request, or I guess to try to get the order from the Public Service Commission. But in the end, the Public Service Commission granted the $262,000 for that project. So that project, we went to a meeting on, I think it was Tuesday, at the Public Service Commission, and in the meeting, it was stated that the project is moving forward, it's fully funded, and I believe that there's going to be a closing date, I
March
think,
5th.
March 4th or 5th.
4th is the preliminary and 5th is the contractor signing.
Contractor signing, so,
Yes.
that's it for that and that project is
A go.
a go. So we've done everything that we could possibly do, and everything's good. But if anyone wants to see the opinions from utility attorneys, request from Ron Floor to expedite the order and the order, we have it here. All right, next on the agenda. I think it was unfinished business. New business. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen new business. Anything that sticks out to you?
Mr. President, on page 3, the bottom of the page, to approve the hiring of Dallas County and Warren Ford as part-time courthouse security.
That's, yeah, okay, that's
I was
it.
just going to ask if we could modify that to include pending completion of application and certification.
It's fine with me.
Otherwise, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so let's make the addendum pending application and certification. All right. And, that being said, any other questions on the new business? All right, if not, I'd like a motion to accept the new business.
I'll make a motion to accept the new business posted on the agenda.
And I'll second that motion.
All right. Motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, with that being unanimous, motion carries, new business is approved. Next, we have commission concerns and communications. Steve Garza.
I don't have much to say, but I do want to thank Mr. McCann for coming and speaking tonight to us. And we will be calling on you to help us, so don't, you can put that in writing, it'll help us.
All right, next, Doc Banks.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate to everyone that's still here that as far as water projects go, our number one priority is the Rolling Mud River project as far as securing the funding of that project totally. And as far as I know, we've always been that way ever since we put it on as a priority for our small cities block grant. We will continue to do that. It would be my intention, as I said before, to go ahead with this application and once approved for the first phase, to go ahead and request the application to completion of the second phase. And I understand how hard it is to have bad water and things of that nature, and I understand, but the problem is I understand how hard it is to get these things, get money for these things too. And it's just, there's so much need in this county still yet, although in the last 15 years or so, we've almost doubled the potable water that our citizens have available to them. We still haven't done enough. And that's always been and always will be a priority for this commission, to make sure we get funded for these projects, and hopefully that funding will continue to exist. The only other comment I have is I want to ask the elected officials, the people working in the courthouse, if they could help us, help them in hiring and things of that nature, make sure people have proper certification, make sure they're operating within the confines of what the law allows us to do. And we're charged as a commission to do that for our employees here at the courthouse. And it helps us when we can get in on the ground floor of those things. You know, it's real hard for, and I know how it is, because when I was president, I'm sure when Mr. McCann was president, people come to you and say, well, can we do this? And you think, well, there's not a problem with that, you know, go ahead and do it, or you know, I don't see a problem with it. But when it comes down to it, no matter who the commissioner is, we have basically no say by ourselves. So we have to bring everything that's requested from us in front of the commission and ask the commission if it's the commission's will to do these things. And I think, and that's the same with the elected officials and people working in these offices trying to get their offices running and things. Our job is to help them do their job. And one part of our job is to make sure that the hiring process is fair and legal and proper. And I would ask that if there was any exceptions to that, if the officials or people working in the various offices could let us know, and we can modify how we're doing things. But as far as the liability associated with working with the commission, as long as we're liable for these people, I think we ought to use the same process to hire all of them. And I would ask if there's a problem with any of the elected officials to talk with our president or with one of the commissioners about what the problem is, and we'll try to work it out as a commission. But you know, we all need to be on the same page as far as this goes. You know, we don't want any liability issues to be suddenly thrust upon us without us being aware of what the situation is. We want to make sure that all the employees have been properly vested. We want to make sure that they've had their proper background checks and things like that. You know, I think the 911 people have a good system for that type thing and things of that nature. So when people are brought before the commission to be hired as requested by an elected official or 911 director, whatever, we can be assured that that job, they meet the qualifications for that job and have passed certification for that job. But that's really all.
All right.
I have something else I want to say real quick. I was teasing Charles and got sidetracked. But we went up Tuesday to the Public Service Commission, and Mr. Gillenwater was there, and all three of his board members. And I just want to thank you all. The Public Service Commission commended you all so much for the direction you're taking the Lincoln PSD now. You know, I really think if things hadn't changed when they did, we would not have had the conversations we did Tuesday with them. And
There's no doubt that
yeah.
the board members that you guys appointed have definitely been an asset to that
Yes.
organization.
All right, and that's one of the things I want to touch on, public comment. You know, we went to that meeting on Tuesday. I think everyone was well represented. The Lincoln PSD was represented well. And of course, the reason we were there is because the county commission requested a general investigation, and it's been a while back. And the reason, there was reasons. We had, you know, there was suspicion of things that were going on, and that was addressed this past Tuesday. I think the Public Service Commission, from this informal hearing, is going to be requesting documents, a lot of different documents from the Lincoln PSD, but also basically financially, the Lincoln PSD is in much better shape than it was, and I just that goes to show you what you know, a good board, working board will do. And I'd like to commend that board for what they have done, and for, you know, and also commend the commissioners here for taking a stand on that $262,000, because that was important. Without that, you've lost both projects, and I just, you know, I appreciate that. Another thing that I'd like to just kind of turn the attention to the county clerk. The county clerk wrote a grant and received, I believe it was $10,000. $14,000, I'm sorry, I can't add
I
it
can tell
right.
you to the cent.
Yeah, but I'd like to commend the county clerk on, you know, writing grants. I don't know, not very many people will go out and seek grant money, but you're definitely to be commended on that, and I'd like to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to, if you didn't see a new business, there was one thing that we put into the new business was, we are going to draft a letter to the U.S. prosecuting attorney regarding the $262,000. That's the county commission, we voted to do that, and we're going to send that and move forward with that. I have spoken with them about the issue, but I feel like that the county commission should send a letter and basically make it official, that we feel like that there needs to be somebody to look into that.
Also, the Public Service Commission asked us to withdraw, sent them a letter to ask them to withdraw their investigation because they felt like the PSC was okay and they felt comfortable enough with it that they didn't think they needed to be intervening, so.
I just want to be careful here. Is it the Commission's official position then that 262,000 was misappropriated, or should it be
It's the
alleged?
Alleged, yes.
Okay, well that's not.
Alleged
The motion doesn't say that.
I
that's
understand that.
okay. Just
but-
And the Public Service Commission also suggested that we do that on Tuesday.
Yes.
Somewhere right there.
Yes. Next, I'd like to comment on our planning commission, the Lincoln Planning Commission. We met last Thursday, as you know, and there was a lot of things that were discussed, especially to try to create or basically bring about a fully constituted dilapidated buildings board. And if you look at our business that we did today, we are going to be requesting 2 citizens to be a part of that. Once we get those 2 citizens, then we will have a fully constituted dilapidated buildings committee, and then they will start meeting. But oh yeah, one other thing. Speaking with Rick Helton, Rick Helton's done a lot of work on this. I think that you are familiar with the floodplain manager and commission working with the Army Corps of Engineers to try to get funding for the flooding problem that we have from Hamlin all the way to Yawkey. And we are eligible again for the $100,000 to help develop a flood mitigation plan, and I think our floodplain manager has been very active in that, and I think we are going to be pursuing that with the help of Region 3 and FEMA. So I'd like to thank you for the work that you've done there, and that's about it. I move that we adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That be unanimous.